have the Pledge of Allegiance. Cody, do you
Sure.
I'm sorry, the invocation first.
Our Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning so thankful for the protection you give us. And with the events that have happened this last weekend, reminds us that sometimes things are not safe. Thank you for protecting Mr. Trump as he's running for president. These kind of things we know should not be happening. This is a democracy, and we don't shoot people that we don't like. And Lord, just ask you to also protect our first responders, as one was killed during that event as well. And we just ask you to protect each and every one of our family members where we are. Give us the wisdom that we need to move forward with this committee for the city and citizens of Keene. And we thank you again for your protection. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I don't have any remarks except ditto on God bless America, and let's all pray that everything gets cleaned up and we have a more smooth running America. And city administrator remarks?
Budget,
Mr.
budget, budget, that's it.
Don, do you have any remarks?
Good morning, everybody. There's a lot going on in the city with development, business-wise, and everything else. So just keep your head up. Things are looking up for the city. It just all takes time before it all comes into place.
Okay. Are there any public comments? Okay, moving on. Public hearing. All right, we're going to review and discuss and consider approval of the regular called EDC Type A board meeting held on June the 19th of 2024. Have all of the board members reviewed the minutes, and are you agreeable with them?
I've read it over, and I move that we accept the minutes from June 19, 2024 as presented.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor? Okay, and then second, review and discuss and consider approval of the Type A EDC financial statement ending June 30th, 2024. I do have some questions on that. I can get to it here and get to my marks.
Morning, Charles.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Thank you,
I
Charles.
printed out the wrong month. Showing May. Unfortunately, I didn't print the month of June. I print the month of May. If someone have a report, so I can answer
Okay.
any questions that you may have.
It's on the long sheet, Charles. Whoops, the question that I have is on this long sheet.
Oh, that's our budget that's coming up.
Oh, the budget that's coming up, well, okay.
Okay, so the financials, I do have a question on the
Financials, I'll go on the budget for the next one.
On item 300-110-6963, industrial park maintenance, we've got $5,000 in our budget. We're not spending any money on that. Are we not doing any road or mowing or anything like that? Is that all taken care of with?
Do we still-
EDC B-Board, I think a few months back, took over all the park revenues and expenses.
Including the industrial park, or this is
portion.
for the industrial park?
On the industrial park, do
On
we
the
still have the
industrial.
lease?
Yeah,
On the industrial park,
Yeah.
well, a portion of that should have been going to A as well. but mostly B took over everything that is park-related.
Okay.
And so really, that account is,
Okay, so we don't still have the lease for the,
lease.
I forget his name, that he had cattle running on there that kept the grass down.
Oh, we still have that, but it's just the fact, that comes sporadic. It don't come
Okay,
every month. I would say probably every quarter, it seems more like it.
I can comment on both of those.
Okay, good.
thank you.
We need an answer.
Mainly what happened is we had Public Works doing it on overtime, and it was coming out, and they would do it that way, but they haven't really done it recently. So it hasn't been coming out of that budget.
So there's another factor, you know, we separated ways on our mowing service this year.
Yes,
We're looking at maybe reinstating that mowing service possibly. There's been a lot of feedback on that from council, B-board, possibly today, the A-board. And that number in there, that $5,000 under 6963 would go for that future potential mowing contract.
Great idea.
We want to move forward with that.
Yeah,
great idea.
okay.
And as far as the lease goes, if you remember a few months back, he had paid and Lee Products had paid to replace some of that fencing along the north side of the property. And we agreed to just forego his lease payment this
Yeah.
year.
That's why I was wondering why there was a cost if he was still doing that, you know, and doing the fence and stuff. But thank you for that information, and thank you, Mr. Bailiff. Okay, let's see here. And we go next to the budget, I believe. See, review and discuss the EDCA Board fiscal year 2025 budget overview.
We need to accept item B.
Okay. Do we have any more questions about our financials?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial statement ending June 30, 2024.
A second?
All in favor? Okay. Now we're going to review and
Thank you.
discuss,
Thanks, Charles.
the EDCA Board fiscal year 2025 budget overview.
So in front of you, you should have the budget sheet. It's kind of like our preliminary first shot at it. There wasn't really a whole lot of changes from last year. I did add just slight different amounts to a couple of different things. Some of those had to do with the Economic Development Corporation, as far as like the Old Glory flags, Christmas parade, things like that, went up just slightly. So all of those have pretty much been added into that. And then like Mr. Batla had pointed out that that 5,000 that we were getting Public Works to occasionally mow on their, day off, overtime, whatever, to do that, if we go back to a service to do the parks and things like that, and then maybe still keep that one part-time person or one full-time position that can do maintenance and some mowing at some of these spots, those are one of the options that we're kind of looking at there. So do you have any questions on any of this stuff? I mean, as far as training and travel, I haven't really had time to go to any
To
classes.
do that, no.
But I'd like to leave those in there either for me or whoever's next.
Okay.
I just need you to re-enlighten me on what the maintenance staff for EDC, WNS, $30,000 down there. City of Keene in the front page.
That was 69.5 for the 24 budget, if you take a look at the budget.
Which number?
Well, it's,
68.53.
Okay. Well, that was when the position, I believe, was changed. Because it used to be economic development was paid 50% out of A and 50% out of B, but when they modified everything, it went to like 30, 30, 30 or
okay,
something.
okay. I
Okay.
thought that's what it was, but wanted to verify.
So that's
Okay.
what that is.
Okay. And then, and Mr. Knott has been so kind as to bring us some paperwork in here, and I know he would probably like to make a statement or to this as well. I believe last year, during the year, we actually voted to provide $3,000 for the fireworks. I don't see that in this budget.
Right. It is, I have a note to add that on here.
Okay,
Okay, so,
I just not.
Yeah, that
sure.
was my
I'll have to
question,
get
too.
with finance to see what category the line item is gonna go under. But I have that on there to add, Christmas parade fireworks,
okay,
$3,000.
which is really important for our little town.
Yes, I agree.
Well, thank you for catching that, Wes, and good morning, Taipei. Appreciate everything you do. It really is an exciting time to now live in Keene. And my request there is in that document that I presented to you, and just appreciate everything that Taipei does for the Keene Chamber. So thank you.
Well, thanks for staying by as a very key part of Keene at the Chamber.
Well, thank
I
you.
know it's been a long
Fun
haul
to do.
for you, sir.
Yes.
been a long time, Paul. Thank you for all your
Yeah,
hard
well,
work.
we're having our 31st birthday party here July
Very soon.
25, so you're all invited. Hope you can all be there.
Sure.
Community Center, 11:30, Thursday, July 25. Okay,
Birthday party for the Chamber of Commerce on the 25th.
yes.
Okay,
So are there any other questions?
don't have any,
Okay.
except do we need to make a motion on this 3,000? But we already approved it, so it's just, you just need to add it to the budget, correct? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, today's just kind of like a budget workshop. Do
Okay.
you agree with any? Do you have any questions for it? Is there something you would like to see in there? But we'll need a final approval within the next 30 days probably. That way, the whole budget for the city can be done. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
Well, August 1st is our, second meeting on the budget, so we'll need to meet with both
Okay.
A and B before that. But I do have a question. This may be for finance, Don, and y'all. I need to get some direction on this. Line item 6853 is titled ED Director Personnel Costs, but below that, the line item is for maintenance staff. Is this, my understanding is that's for our partial funding of the full-time maintenance position, not the economic development director.
I believe you are correct. I'd have to,
Yes,
Okay.
but that's really up to the board.
Yes, okay, I wanted to make sure of that first. So we have a decision to make kind of between both boards and the council, and that is, we had it funded this fiscal year for a mowing contract service that was primarily funded through B Board, but y'all have part, small piece of the industrial park that's part of that bid. And we also had a maintenance position for, A and B that was funded half and half through A and B, okay? When we went away from our mowing contract, we took that position, moved it full-time, and added mowing to that position, all right? So I'm getting a lot of feedback that that single position is unable to keep up with everything as well as a contract service. A lot of people are wanting contract service back. So the question is, are y'all willing to keep that position funded the way it's presented in budget here to that 30,000 and help fund the mowing contract, or do away with that full-time position, move it back to part-time to move money for the contract, if that makes sense?
So if we just go back with a contract and they just do their job,
Yeah.
that's the best way, right?
Well, I think so. Basically, we have the way this budget is set up in A and B, would allow us to keep that full-time position for maintenance, and separately the mowing contract, so.
And so how much would all that be together? Is it included in that 30,000 or is it a different price?
So that's, your part would be the $30,000. I think there's 30 in B, and then there's, you have the $5,000 for mowing, in line item 6963. And I think B has the lion's share of mowing in their budget for that contract.
So if we hire a contractor to do it, what would the city worker do?
So the city worker would be moved to just full-time maintenance position. They would also help with some of the ground stuff, but mainly all the facility maintenance, park maintenance, all of that stuff, you know. And there's a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
We haven't
I
even
imagine.
touched all the repainting and all the fixing of equipment and everything else, both at City Hall. We've done some in the community center. We repainted that, you know, but there's still a lot of maintenance items that we haven't been able to address because he's out mowing every day, so.
Well, Mr. Battle, I want to thank you for taking your off time, not your salary time, your off time to go out and mow to see if one person could possibly keep that up.
Well, that's actually part of the method of the madness to see,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, okay, can one person do this? And, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we appreciate it anyway, because that was, you know, hey, I'll go out and try it, and if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know, I mean, firsthand experience is always better. Okay,
So is there something in here, do we still split a city position that we were talking about earlier? That, not the maintenance position, but an EDC director or?
Yeah, or is that number on this budget?
Yes, it's still split between the two.
Yeah,
but,
Where is it on the budget, though?
yeah,
It's not,
I don't see it,
For the EDC
yes.
yeah.
director, that's, excuse me.
Well, there's 30,000 here, but if we're splitting it two ways,
Yes, to the question, the first question.
split it in 3 ways.
6853.
What, no.
6853 line item. That's is induced into that, as well as, like Mr. Battler was indicating, you have other professional service at 6860, which can also be a part of that amount for the mowing contract as well, if you like.
well, 6860 says there it's a grant writer, or am I looking, did I?
Well, that is the grant writer for right now, but we can change that.
But that is under that part as well,
The grant writer
is under this,
6860.
but I think we're missing a line item. 6853 only shows the maintenance staff position.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can induce that. That's, you know, why it's a budget. We can make the changes now. Once it's final, you can have changes all through the year, but the budget still have to stay the
The
same.
same.
So
Okay.
it's been a lot of changes this year, but the budget still have to stay on course as the numbers was approved and presented.
Right.
So we can make those changes now.
Okay,
It's not step in stone right now
Sure.
until it's been approved.
well, can we have titles like you have there, you know, the
Absolutely.
6853 and everything, and then put what part is for the EDC
Yes, ma'am.
director or there, and then what part is for maintenance,
Yes, ma'am.
and then what part is for the grants?
Okay.
That way we can see exactly what that money's going for, rather than just lumped together and trying to figure out how much is going for each one.
Is 5,000, so this is a question, is 5,000 enough for that grant writer? What would that percentage be? I mean, if they're getting several $100,000, is that enough to really go after it? Because last year, we had 9,000 in that budget.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
we did.
So historically, we haven't gone over that 5,000.
No.
And so that's just kind of a historical number that's worked pretty well for us.
Okay.
Is that for the A and the B board as well? And the city, I mean, do all three pay for grant writers, or is it just the A board?
I think
Usually when the city goes after a grant, like a Texas Water Development Board or something like that to do water infrastructure or streets, the grant writer is usually paid out of the grant and maybe a small portion matching by the city. Now, for parks, it's a little bit different. So I think I changed B-Board to 7,500 because our grant writers that have done our last few grants for the streets, the water tower, and some of that, came up with an estimate of about 7,500 to go after some of these Texas Parks and Wildlife grants.
Good. Okay,
So as far as A-Board's slightly different, but I know we did vote that A-Board could help B-Board projects. So this would help cover
Some of
those
that, too.
costs if they exceeded that 7,500.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
if we've got the industrial park and we want to try to do a road there for the industrial park, maybe we need to spend some more money on a grant writer to get somehow some money to do that road.
Yeah, usually if there's a grant available, the grant writer is paid out of the
that.
whole total
Okay.
grant.
Okay.
Okay.
It's usually just for like smaller ones like Texas Department of Wildlife or Parks that you have to pay them kind of upfront.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Do you have any other questions on this?
Well, thanks.
Now, we don't have to, we're not approving this today, we're just going to make changes, or?
Yeah, we're just,
Yeah.
getting your input, stuff like that.
Okay.
Um,
I would just like to see it more itemized, where we know exactly what we're paying with the money.
Yeah, that's point taken. Yeah, we'll get that.
Yeah.
Well,
And if
58,
it's something,
broken down, and that will change a little bit when we need to make sure we add that economic development
Yeah.
director.
didn't mean to
Don
interrupt,
didn't add any money for his position.
Yeah, working for free
didn't mean
this
to
year.
interrupt you, but
Work for free.
can we also split it up to where we know what we're sharing with A and B board and what we're sharing with the city? That way it'll just save a lot of questions.
Put like a percentage of.
A lot of changes,
Yeah,
but we have to put it from some fund
Yeah.
in the budget.
yeah,
They're creating new accounts because it was approved by the
Sure.
in the beginning.
in the beginning.
Put out those changes during
Yeah.
the year.
Well, I just want to know what we're spending our money on.
Yeah, we can make that.
Okay, I appreciate
This
that.
sheet you have, that's easy. We can add the,
Not-
share.
Not a problem, I appreciate it.
Right, yeah, a percentage or something.
And then this is not a large amount, but I was actually surprised looking at property taxes on County Road 317. Is the city not tax exempt?
Supposed to be, but.
So why are we paying
Have an
taxes
answer
on
to
it?
That question?
So, yeah, I actually called the attorney on that because I saw that one property, the Dane property.
Yes.
The property tax, we are co-listed on that property.
Oh.
Property taxes had not been paid in a long time. And so I went in there and we had to catch up on those, and it's because we're
Okay.
co-listed on that, we still are liable to pay that property tax until we get that transferred over. And I have asked the attorney to work on the paperwork because we have met that threshold with that residence not being occupied for that certain amount of time. So we're moving forward with getting that paperwork all signed over.
So then we'll be the only one on it.
Yes.
So then the taxes will go away?
Then we'd be taxes in.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, okay.
Will we come back to approve this next month, or are we gonna have a special meeting for it, or?
We may have to have a special meeting. It all kind of depends because the budget has to be, approved by a certain
By
date
August.
in September.
Is it August 1st? Middle of September, okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay, that would be good.
Which means it has to be approved by you first, then council.
Yeah, we may have to pull a meeting together before August 1st, just like B-Board, right? B-Board did not have a quorum yesterday, so we're going to have a special called meeting. Sorry, Holly. And we may have to do the same to make some of these budget corrections to bring it back to y'all
Okay.
for
Okay.
approval.
Do you know if you have any sales tax projections for next year? Charles?
Yes. These are estimates. revenue side, for the both boards, it was close to 340,000. This current year, it's gonna be more like, close to 300,000 because of, projecting about the economy, the election, Wall Street, all that is encompassed in that estimate.
Okay.
So, I'd rather be conservative low than aggressive high.
Right,
Because your expectation will be high.
of course.
Being conservative low, we know we'll hit that target.
But we now have in our money market account $507,000.
How much?
$507,040.02.
Right, 500. And that's the first time we had crossed $500,000.
I was gonna say, that is awesome.
I guess our sale is already completed.
It's at the title company right now.
Gotcha. So we still haven't received funds
Correct.
for,
For that yet.
Yeah, we haven't received funds for that. We have the turn lane project, though, the deceleration lane.
Right.
So that'll be coming out of those funds.
Correct. And I did have our engineers kind of come up with some numbers on redoing and widening County Road 317, making a 36-foot street instead of a 31, which is a normal street, going all the way down to the church, and came into about $2.6 million to get that done. You know, but that's nice, good drainage, culverts, making the right-of-ways a little bit bigger, drainage on both sides of the roads.
And it would provide good access to the industrial park that way.
Correct. So that's something that, you know, we're gonna be looking at pretty soon.
Good, good. Well, there's a lot of work going on with where Alsop's is coming in. How's that going?
It's going pretty good. They've poured some of their, concrete parking lot already and pads, and they're working on water and sewer. Had to move a couple of water lines and sewer lines to get them out from the edge of the building. And they claim they want to open in September.
Well, they work fast.
Yeah, so. we'll
Some of the employees in Granbury said that they were being asked to move here to open it, and get people trained. So I thought that was pretty neat. I love their burritos. If you've never had them, you need to go try them. They have vegetarian, hatch green chili and cheese.
I do have a comment about the road out there, that before we spend any money, we need to make sure council is on board, because their heads are gonna roll if they approve a $2.6 million industrial park road
Without doing force.
with every single street around here being complained about.
Yeah,
I agree, and they will approve, but you can't just spend A-board money
for City
Right,
Street.
right, I
normal
understand.
residential
Yeah.
streets, unless
Right.
it was to promote business.
Thank you, Charles, for your
Good.
attention to all this. Appreciate it. Okay, anything else? So we don't have an executive session today?
Do
So
we
we're
need,
just down to any requests for future agenda items.
do we need to discuss when we're going to have our next call meeting?
We'll let you know.
You'll let us know. Okay.
They'll let us know, okay? If there's no other questions or anything, meeting is adjourned at 9:29.
Thank you.